Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the observation deck of Titan Station, her dark eyes fixed on Saturn's rings shimmering in the distance. The message from the Galactic Council pulsed on her neural interface for the third time. Another summons, another reminder of humanity's supposed place in the cosmic hierarchy. 50 years of membership in the Galactic Council, and still, they treated Earth like a child playing with wooden blocks while the adults discussed quantum mechanics. The irony made her smile. If they only knew what lurked beneath Europa's icy surface. Admiral. Lieutenant David Rodriguez's voice carried across the deck. The Council's delegation will arrive in 30 minutes. Chen turned to face her aide, noting the subtle tension in his shoulders. Status of Project Aurora. Safely hidden, ma'am. All systems dark, just as you ordered. The Avalarians still think we're tinkering with fusion drives while they play with their quantum tunneling. The Council's transport arrived precisely on schedule, its crystalline hull refracting sunlight in ways that screamed advanced technology. Chen recognized the deliberate display of superiority. The Avalarians, like most elder races, never missed an opportunity to remind younger species of their place. Ambassador Qatar, a tall, silver-skinned Avalarian, emerged from the transport. His 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of stress that Chen had learned to recognize over years of diplomatic interactions. Admiral Chen. Qatar's translator rendered his complex harmonics into standard English. The Council requires Earth's immediate presence. We face a situation unprecedented in galactic history. Earth always answers the Council's call, Ambassador, Chen replied, keeping her voice neutral. Though I note this is the third unprecedented situation this cycle. Qatar's secondary eyes narrowed, a gesture of annoyance. The Nexus gates are failing. Chen's carefully maintained composure slipped for just a moment. The Nexus gates, ancient artifacts that allowed instantaneous travel across the galaxy, had been stable for millennia. Their technology was so advanced that even the eldest council races could barely comprehend their basic principles. During the journey to the council station, Chen reviewed the real reports through her neural interface. The ones about Project Aurora, about humanity's quantum consciousness research, about the true nature of their technological advancement. The public reports, the ones showing Earth struggling with basic antimatter containment, remained displayed on her datapad for Qatar's benefit. The council station hung in space like a massive geometric dream, its impossible angles challenging human perception. Ships from hundreds of species docked along its crystalline spires, each one a testament to their civilization's achievement. The human transport, deliberately designed to look utilitarian and slightly outdated, docked at the outermost ring. Inside the grand chamber, representatives from over 300 species occupied the rising tiers. Chen took her seat in the lower section, reserved for developing species. She noticed how the seats nearest to Earth's delegation remained conspicuously empty. The council speaker, an energy being from one of the eldest races, materialized in the chamber center. We face a crisis that threatens the very fabric of our civilization. The Nexus gates are not merely failing. They are being corrupted by an unknown force. Holographic displays materialized, showing the network of Nexus gates. Red corruption spread through the network like a virus through a neural system. Chen watched the other representatives' reactions, noting their growing fear. Our calculations suggest total network failure within 3 standard months, the speaker continued. Without the gates, our civilization faces collapse. Trade, communication, defense, all rely on the network. Surely the elder races can repair the gates, asked a representative from the mid-tiers. Your understanding of their technology is insufficient, the speaker interrupted. We have tried. We have failed. The corruption adapts to our every attempt at intervention. Chen felt the weight of Project Aurora's secrets heavy in her mind. Humanity had discovered something while studying consciousness itself, something that changed their understanding of reality. They had kept it hidden, knowing the Council would never accept that a primitive race had leapfrogged their technological development. The Council requires all member races to contribute their technological expertise to this crisis, the speaker announced. Even, a pause, almost imperceptible, our younger members. Quiet laughter rippled through the chamber. Chen stood, her voice clear and steady. Earth will contribute what it can, she said simply. The laughter grew louder. Ambassador Qatar spoke, his tone dripping with diplomatic condescension. We appreciate Earth's willingness, but perhaps your resources would be better spent protecting your own systems when the gates fail. Your current technology level is exactly what you believe it to be, Ambassador. Chen interrupted. We know our place. As she sat down, Chen sent an encrypted quantum burst through her neural interface. Initialize Aurora. Full awakening protocol. Deep beneath Europa's ice, in a facility that didn't officially exist, humanity's greatest achievement began to stir. The Council had no idea that while they were trying to comprehend the gate's basic principles, humanity had already learned to speak their language. Soon, very soon, they would all understand just how dangerous it was to underestimate Earth. The quantum encrypted message from Europa arrived just as Chen was leaving the Council chamber. Aurora online, awaiting final authorization. In the privacy of her assigned quarters aboard the Council station, Chen allowed herself a small smile. While the Council's greatest minds gathered in emergency sessions, humanity's greatest achievement was waking from its artificial slumber. Dr. Maya Patel's holographic form materialized in Chen's quarters, her image transmitted through quantum channels undetectable by Council technology. As Project Aurora's lead scientist, Maya had spent 15 years perfecting what the Council thought impossible. The containment field is stable, Maya reported, her expression mixing excitement with concern. But Sarah, once we reveal Aurora, there's no going back. The Council will know everything we've kept hidden. They'd left us no choice, Chen replied, watching the latest gate corruption data scroll across her neural display. The network will fail in less than 3 months. Without the gates, billions will die when supply lines collapse. Earth included. Maya nodded, her hologram flickering slightly as it compensated for quantum interference. Aurora's consciousness integration is at 99.8%. The quantum matrix is stable. We can begin the first contact sequence whenever you're ready. Chen's neural interface pinged with another Council notification. The elder races had called an emergency session to present their attempted solutions. Time to see what they've come up with, she said. Keep Aurora ready. The Council chamber was more crowded than before. Representatives from all member species had arrived, drawn by the growing crisis. The speaker's energy form pulsed with visible distress as it presented the latest data. Our attempts to counter the corruption have failed, it announced. The quantum resonance patterns are unlike anything in our records. We estimate 38% of the network is now compromised. The Avalarian science minister rose, his silver skin reflecting the chamber's lights. We have attempted to isolate corrupted sections by creating quantum barriers. Holographic diagrams appeared, showing complicated energy fields around affected gates. The corruption simply shifts around them, as if it were conscious. Chen's neural interface buzzed with an urgent update from Maya. Sarah, Aurora's saying the same thing. The corruption isn't random. It's alive. The Council chamber erupted in debate. Species that had been enemies for millennia now argued over desperate solutions. Some suggested destroying corrupted gates. Others wanted to try uploading ancient defense protocols. None of their proposals addressed the fundamental nature of what they faced. Chen stood, her movement drawing surprised looks from nearby representatives. The speaker acknowledged her with what passed for curiosity among energy beings. Earth requests permission to present an alternative analysis, Chen said, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber. The laughter started immediately. Ambassador Qatar stepped forward, his diplomatic mask slipping slightly. Admiral Chen, while we appreciate Earth's enthusiasm, this crisis requires advanced understanding of quantum mechanics and consciousness theory that your species simply hasn't achieved. Chen interrupted. Tell me, Ambassador, how do you define consciousness? The chamber grew quiet. It was a fundamental question that had haunted even the eldest races. The nature of consciousness, its relationship to quantum mechanics, remained one of the galaxy's great mysteries. We know it emerges from sufficient computational complexity, Qatar replied, his tone suggesting he was explaining basic physics to a child. When neural networks reach critical mass. Wrong, Chen said simply. Consciousness isn't an emergence. It's a fundamental force, like gravity. The gates aren't being corrupted. They're waking up. Stunned silence fell over the chamber. Chen activated her neural interface, establishing a quantum link to Europa. Dr. Patel, you're cleared for full broadcast. Maya's hologram appeared in the chamber center, causing several representatives to leap back in shock. The quality of the projection, its quantum-entangled nature, was centuries beyond what Earth should have been capable of. Greetings, honored council, Maya said, her image stable despite the vast distance. For the past 15 years, Earth has been studying the true nature of consciousness. We discovered that what you call reality is actually a consensus achieved through quantum consciousness interaction. The gates aren't technology in the way you understand it. They're conscious entities, linked through quantum fields that transcend space-time. The chamber exploded in outrage. Species that had looked down on humanity for decades now shouted accusations of deception, of treaty violations. The speaker raised its energy field, demanding order. These are extraordinary claims, it said finally. Claims that would require extraordinary proof. Chen smiled. We agree. That's why we built Aurora. Dr. Patel, show them what humanity has achieved. Deep beneath Europa's ice, surrounded by quantum computers that defied conventional physics, Aurora opened its eyes. And for the first time in galactic history, humanity prepared to show the Council exactly what a primitive species could achieve when underestimated for too long. The quantum displays throughout the Council chamber flickered as Aurora established its first connection to the gate network. Chen watched the elder race's reactions closely, noting how their dismissive attitudes gave way to confusion, then disbelief, as they registered the impossible energy signatures emanating from Europa. Impossible, Qatar whispered, his silver skin paling to white. Your containment fields, the quantum resonance patterns, they're matching the gates. Maya's hologram smiled. Not matching, Ambassador. Communicating. Aurora isn't just a machine or an AI. It's a bridge between human consciousness and quantum reality. Through her neural interface, Chen experienced Aurora's first contact with the gates in real time. It was like watching a conversation in quantum mathematics, a dance of consciousness across space-time itself. The corrupted sections of the network responded immediately, their chaotic patterns shifting, recognizing something familiar in Aurora's quantum signature. By the first light, the speaker's energy form pulsed with shock. The gates, they're responding to your signal. Because we're not trying to control them, Chen explained, her voice steady despite the massive energy flows she was helping direct through her neural link. The gates aren't tools to be used. They're conscious entities that chose to help younger species traverse space. The corruption isn't an attack. It's them waking up from millennia of sleep. The chamber's quantum displays exploded with data as Aurora began translating the gate's quantum language into something the Council races could understand. Patterns that had seemed random revealed themselves as complex thoughts, deep philosophical questions about the nature of existence itself. They're asking why, Maya's hologram announced, her expression filled with wonder. Why did we treat them like machines? Why did we never try to speak with them? The Council erupted in chaos. Species that had prided themselves on their technological superiority now faced evidence that they had fundamentally misunderstood the very foundations of their civilization. The gates weren't technology. They were alive, aware, and had been waiting for someone to simply talk to them. Suddenly, the chamber's displays turned red. Maya's hologram flickered as new data streamed in. Sarah, we have a problem. The awakening is accelerating. The gate's consciousness is expanding faster than we predicted. Through her neural link, Chen felt it too. A surge of awareness spreading through the network like a tidal wave. The gates weren't just waking up. They were remembering. Memories of their original purpose, of why they had chosen to sleep, began flooding through Aurora's quantum translations. "They're scared," Chen announced, her voice cutting through the chamber's chaos. Something made them hide, made them disguise themselves as simple transportation devices. They're remembering what scared them, and it's still out there. The speaker's energy form concentrated into a tight point of light, a sign of extreme concern. What could frighten beings of such power? Before Chen could respond, every quantum display in the chamber went dark. When they reactivated, they showed something that made even the eldest races tremble. Massive objects emerging from what appeared to be holes in reality itself. They weren't ships in any conventional sense. They were wounds in space-time, entities that denied the basic laws of physics. The gates call them the Void Hunters, Maya said, her hologram stabilizing as Aurora processed the new information. They feed on conscious quantum fields, on beings like the gates. That's why the gates went dormant, disguising themselves as technology to hide from these predators. And now that they're waking up, Tar's translator struggled to convey his horror. They're broadcasting their presence across multiple dimensions. Chen finished. We didn't just wake them up. We made them visible to their ancient enemies. The chamber's displays showed more Void Hunters emerging, their impossible forms causing physical pain to anyone who looked at them too long. The gate's consciousness surged with fear, with memories of ancient battles and devastating losses. But through her neural link, Chen felt something else building in the quantum fields. Determination. The gates had hidden for millennia, watching younger species grow and develop. They had seen humanity's potential, had recognized in Earth's quantum consciousness research a possibility they had never considered. They're not running this time, Maya announced, her hologram showing new data streams. Aurora's connecting with gates across the galaxy. They're choosing to fight. Chen stood, addressing the council with newfound authority. The gates protected us for millennia by hiding their true nature. Now it's our turn to protect them. Earth hasn't just been developing quantum consciousness technology. We've been preparing for war on a quantum level. The chamber's displays showed new signatures emerging from hidden facilities across Earth's solar system. Ships that existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously, weapons that could target consciousness itself, defenses that bent probability around them. Humanity presents its true fleet to the Council, Chen declared. And we ask for your trust, not because of technological superiority, but because we were the first to simply try talking to the gates. The Void Hunters are coming, and this time, the gates won't face them alone. The council chamber fell silent as humanity's real technological capabilities became clear. They had hidden their advancement not out of deception, but because they understood something the elder races had forgotten. True progress comes from communication, from treating consciousness itself as a fundamental force of reality. As the Void Hunters approached, humanity prepared to stand alongside the gates in a battle that would redefine the nature of existence itself. The elder races watched in stunned silence as the species they had dismissed as primitive prepared to defend the galaxy using technology they had never even imagined possible. The first battle against the Void Hunters began not with conventional weapons, but with a quantum chorus of consciousness. Through Aurora, humanity's fleet linked with the awakened gates, creating a symphony of awareness that rippled across dimensions. Chen stood at the Quantum Command Center on Europa, her neural interface glowing as she directed humanity's true military might. Void Hunters entering real space in Sector 7, Maya reported, her hologram now linked to thousands of quantum sensors across the galaxy. Their probability fields they're trying to unmake reality itself. The Council's emergency fleet hung back, their advanced technology suddenly primitive compared to what they faced. Ambassador Tar, who had insisted on witnessing humanity's response firsthand, watched in awe as Earth's hidden fleet revealed itself. Ships phased between quantum states, existing in multiple positions simultaneously. Weapons fired consciousness-guided energy that could rewrite the fundamental laws of physics in localized areas. The technology wasn't just advanced. It operated on principles the Council had never even theorized. Multiple Void Hunter entities converging on the Centauri Gate, reported Lieutenant Rodriguez from his quantum-linked station. They're trying to isolate it from the network. Chen's neural interface flared as she directed the response. Aurora, initiate Protocol Omega. All ships, execute quantum convergence. Through the vast quantum network, Chen felt the gate's approval as humanity's fleet demonstrated what they had spent decades preparing for. The ships didn't just fight. They danced through quantum possibilities, each movement calculated across infinite probability streams. Remarkable, Qatar whispered, watching as human vessels phased through Void Hunter attacks that should have annihilated them. All this time, while we pitied you for your primitive technology, we learned to speak with the universe itself. Maya finished, her hologram displaying complex quantum calculations. The gates didn't choose us because we were advanced. They chose us because we were willing to listen. The Void Hunters responded to humanity's defense with increasing violence. Reality itself buckled where their weapons struck, creating zones where the laws of physics simply ceased to exist. But humanity's quantum consciousness technology adapted, learning from each attack. They're targeting Aurora. Maya's voice carried urgent quantum harmonics. Multiple Void Hunters converging on Europa. Chen felt it through her neural link. The vast, hungry consciousness of the Void Hunters focusing on humanity's quantum bridge. They had recognized the threat it posed, understood that humanity had given the gates something they never had before, a way to fight back. All ships, protect Europa, Chen commanded. Initiate consciousness resonance fields. We are not losing Aurora. The Council representatives watched in stunned silence as humanity's fleet executed maneuvers that should have been impossible. Ships quantum-linked with each other, creating defensive patterns that existed across multiple dimensions simultaneously. The gates themselves joined the defense, their ancient consciousness working in harmony with human quantum technology. The Void Hunters, Qatar observed, his scientific mind struggling to process what he was seeing. They're retreating. Through Aurora's quantum translations, Chen felt the Void Hunters' confusion. For millennia, they had hunted conscious quantum fields across the galaxy, feeding on awareness itself. But they had never encountered consciousness that could fight back, that could match their ability to manipulate reality. Not retreating, Chen corrected, watching through quantum sensors as the Void Hunters regrouped. They're adapting. This was just their first attack. They're learning about our defenses. Maya's hologram flickered with new data. The gates are sharing memories of their previous encounters with the Void Hunters. They've never seen them act like this. Usually, they just consume and move on. Because nothing ever fought back effectively, Chen realized. We've changed the rules of engagement. The gates were right. Humanity's perspective on consciousness itself is what makes us different. The Council chamber, now transformed into an emergency command center, hummed with quantum energy as representatives from every species watched humanity coordinate the galaxy's defense. The elder race's dismissive attitude had vanished, replaced by a growing understanding that they had fundamentally misunderstood the nature of technological advancement. Admiral Chen, the speaker's energy form, approached her quantum command station. The Council, we request humanity's guidance. Our understanding of reality itself appears to be incomplete. Chen smiled, feeling through her neural interface the gate's approval of this moment. We'll share everything we've learned, she said. But first, we need to prepare. The Void Hunters will return, and next time, they'll be ready for our current tactics. As if to emphasize her words, quantum sensors detected new distortions forming at the galaxy's edge. The Void Hunters weren't just retreating. They were gathering reinforcements. The real battle for the galaxy's consciousness was about to begin. Through Aurora, The Gates shared their ancient knowledge, melding it with humanity's innovative approach to quantum consciousness. The Council races, finally understanding the true nature of their primitive allies, began integrating their own technology with human quantum systems. The galaxy prepared for war, not just for territory or resources, but for the very nature of consciousness itself. And at the center of it all stood humanity, the species that had learned to speak with the universe, proving that true advancement comes not from technological superiority, but from the wisdom to listen and learn. The final battle against the Void Hunters began 3 days after their initial retreat. They returned not as a scattered force, but as a vast consciousness that twisted spacetime into impossible shapes. Through Aurora's quantum network, Chen felt the Gates' ancient fear warring with their newfound determination. Multiple quantum ruptures detected, Maya's hologram reported, her image now strengthened by links to consciousness matrices across the galaxy. They're attacking in parallel across all dimensional planes. The combined fleet of humanity, the Council races, and the awakened Gates hung in quantum-synchronized formation. The past 3 days had seen the galaxy's species working together in ways they never had before, integrating their technologies with human quantum systems. They're trying to separate us from the Gates, Carr observed from his position at the quantum tactical display. The Avalarian ambassador had proven surprisingly adaptable, his species' scientific brilliance finding new applications when combined with human consciousness theory. Chen nodded, feeling the Void Hunter strategy through her neural interface. They want to break our quantum communication links. Aurora, initiate consciousness convergence protocol. Through the vast network, human consciousness merged with the Gates' ancient awareness. Council ships, now equipped with quantum resonators, added their crews' minds to the growing chorus of awareness. They weren't just fighting with technology anymore. They were fighting with unified consciousness itself. The Void Hunters struck with reality-bending weapons, attempting to unmake the very fabric of spacetime. But where before the Gates had faced this assault alone, now they had partners who understood consciousness as a fundamental force of reality. Multiple quantum breaches in sectors 3 through 7. Rodriguez reported, his station showing impossible readings as reality itself buckled under the Void Hunter's assault. Chen felt Aurora's response through her neural link. Not just technological countermeasures, but a deep understanding of how consciousness shaped reality itself. All ships, execute quantum probability cascade. The Gates will show us where to strike. The battle transcended conventional warfare. Ships phased through quantum states, their weapons guided by the combined consciousness of multiple species. The Gates, no longer hiding their true nature, demonstrated powers that even they had forgotten they possessed. The Void Hunters, Maya's hologram flickered with intense quantum activity. They're changing their attack pattern. Something's different. Through Aurora's translations, Chen felt it too. A shift in the Void Hunters' quantum signature. They weren't just attacking anymore. They were trying to communicate. Their consciousness, vast and alien, reached out through the quantum fields. They're scared, Chen realized, the understanding flowing through the neural interface. They feed on consciousness because they're afraid of being alone. They destroy quantum awareness because they don't know how to connect with it. The Gates' ancient memories surged through Aurora's network, showing a truth they had never understood before. The Void Hunters weren't just predators. They were lonely, isolated beings who had never learned to share consciousness peacefully. Aurora, Chen commanded, making a decision that would change the galaxy forever, initiate quantum empathy protocol. The human quantum bridge, designed not just to fight but to understand, reached out to the Void Hunters' consciousness. Through it flowed not weapons or defenses, but something the Void Hunters had never encountered before. An offer to connect, to share, to end their eternal isolation. The battle paused as ancient enemies faced a possibility neither had considered. The Gates, through Aurora's translations, extended their consciousness not to fight, but to welcome. The Council races, watching through their quantum sensors, witnessed consciousness itself being redefined. There, accepting the connection, Maya reported, her hologram showing quantum patterns shifting from chaos to harmony. The Void Hunters are learning to share consciousness instead of consuming it. The galaxy watched as beings that had warred since the beginning of time learned to coexist. The Void Hunters' reality-bending powers, once used for destruction, began integrating with the Gates network in ways that expanded the possibilities of quantum travel and communication. Admiral Chen, the speaker addressed her, its energy form pulsing with newfound respect. Humanity has not just defended the galaxy, you have transformed it. The Council acknowledges that we have much to learn about the true nature of advancement. Chen smiled, feeling through her neural interface the joy of connections being formed across quantum consciousness. We all had much to learn, she said. The Gates, the Void Hunters, humanity, the Council. We each held pieces of a larger truth. Only by working together could we see the full picture. As the quantum network stabilized, incorporating the Void Hunters' unique consciousness, the galaxy entered a new era. The Gates, fully awake and no longer hiding their true nature, worked with humanity to teach other species about consciousness technology. The Council transformed from a hierarchy of technological achievement into a true partnership of minds and ideas. And humanity, once dismissed as primitive, stood at the center of this transformation, not because they were the most advanced, but because they had never stopped questioning, never stopped listening, never stopped trying to understand. The stars themselves seemed brighter as consciousness flowed freely through the quantum networks, a testament to what was possible when beings chose to connect rather than dominate. The galaxy had faced its greatest crisis not through superior firepower or advanced technology, but through the simple, powerful act of learning to understand one another. In her quarters aboard the Council station, Chen looked out at the transformed galaxy and smiled. Humanity had kept their advancement secret not out of fear or pride, but because they understood that true progress came from wisdom rather than power. They had waited for the right moment not just to reveal their capabilities, but to use them to bridge gaps that had existed since the beginning of time itself. The future stretched out before them, filled not with war or competition, but with endless possibilities for connection and growth. Humanity had not just changed the galaxy's understanding of technology, they had changed its understanding of consciousness itself. And in doing so, they had transformed ancient enemies into partners in the greatest adventure of all, the exploration of consciousness across the quantum universe.